What does it take to be an expert, an Alexander of your field? The best to have ever stepped foot in the ring. The best ever. What does it take to be a genius? What does it take to be Einstein? Does it take years and years of trial and error, persistence, discipline, and hard work? Or does it take natural talent? Something that not everyone is born with. And in the case of arguably the greatest physicist to have ever lived, the question naturally arises: was he gifted with a special brain, a natural ability that gave him an advantage over others in understanding difficult concepts like relativity? Well, in this video, we're gonna find out more. I'm your host, Rafe Akram. Albert Einstein was a theoretical physicist born on March 14, 1879 in Ulm, in the Kingdom of Württemberg in the German Empire. He is best known for his theory of relativity, which revolutionized our understanding of space, time, and gravity. Einstein's famous equation E is equal to mc square demonstrated the equivalence of mass and energy. He also made significant contributions to the development of quantum mechanics and cosmology. Einstein's early life was marked by academic struggles, but he excelled in mathematics and physics. He obtained Swiss citizenship in 1901 and worked as a patent examiner in Bern, while publishing his groundbreaking scientific papers. In 1905, often referred to as his miracle year, he published 4 papers that laid the foundation of modern physics, including the special theory of relativity. In 1915, Einstein completed his general theory of relativity, providing a new understanding of gravity as the curvature of space-time. He became an international celebrity after observations confirmed his predictions during a solar eclipse in 1919. Einstein received the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921 for his discovery of the photoelectric effect, a key step in the development of quantum theory. Throughout his life, Einstein was an advocate for pacifism, civil rights, and scientific cooperation. He fled Nazi Germany in 1933 and settled in the United States, where he became a professor at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. He continued his scientific work and became increasingly involved in political and humanitarian causes. On April 17, 1955, 76-year-old Einstein experienced internal bleeding caused by the rupture of an abdominal aortic aneurysm, which had previously been reinforced surgically by Rudolf Nissen in 1948. He took the draft of a speech he was preparing for a television appearance commemorating the State of Israel's 7th anniversary with him to the hospital, but he did not live to complete it. Einstein refused surgery, saying, "I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly." He died in Princeton Hospital early the next morning at the age of 76, having continued to work until the near end. For Einstein's autopsy, the pathologist was Thomas Stoltz Harvey. Harvey was an American pathologist. He studied at Yale University as an undergraduate and later as a medical student. In his 3rd year of medical school, he contracted tuberculosis and was bedridden for the next year in a sanatorium, claiming to be one of the biggest disappointments of his life. The autopsy was conducted at Princeton Hospital on April 18, 1955 at 8 a.m. Einstein's brain weighed 1,230 grams, well within the normal human range. During the autopsy, the pathologist Thomas Harvey removed Einstein's brain for preservation without the permission of his family, in the hope that neuroscience of the future would be able to discover what made Einstein so intelligent. Einstein's remains were cremated in Trenton, New Jersey, and his ashes were scattered at an undisclosed location. Dr. Harvey sectioned the preserved brain into 170 pieces in a lab at the University of Pennsylvania, a process that took 3 full months to complete. Those 180 80 sections were then sliced into microscopic silvers and mounted onto slides and stained. There were 12 sets of slides created with hundreds of slides in each set. Harvey retained 2 complete sets for his own research and distributed the rest to hand-picked leading psychologists of the time. No permission for the removal and preservation had been given by Einstein or his family. But when the family learned about the study, permission to proceed with the study was granted as long as the result was only published in scientific journals and not sensationalized. Now, what really happened to his brain after that? Although the iconic genius died in 1955, pieces of the brain that changed our view of the universe have roamed the world ever since, stored in mayonnaise jars, cardboard boxes, and car trunks. When Einstein's family demanded that the brain be returned, Harvey struck a secret deal with Einstein's estate by vowing to safeguard it from publicity and souvenir hunters and use the brain for scientific study only. Harvey was given permission to keep it. After cutting the brain into 240 pieces for research, Harvey learned that 1940s brain science was not up to the job. Instead of becoming his ticket to scholarly fame, the brain led to Harvey's undoing. He lost his Princeton job and his medical license. 3 marriages failed, and he spent 40 years drifting from place to place, hiding Einstein's brain in basements as he struggled to make ends meet. All the while, Einstein's estate and a stream of reporters hounded him for results from the brain study. But as Harvey refused media requests from all over the world, he became an urban legend, the slippery doctor who pulled off the heist of the century. Meanwhile, Harvey was showing off his jars of brain to fellow Quakers and co-workers, and giving out pieces to professors he liked. By the time Harvey was in his 80s, the former Ivy League doctor worked night shifts at a plastics factory, shared a cramped apartment with a university student, and kept Einstein's brain in the closet. Now, with regards to the brain's whereabouts, there are several stories. Only near the end of Harvey's life, he was able to let Einstein's brain go. He returned it over to another Princeton physician, identified only as Dr. X, to be its new owner, and history repeated itself. Dr. X has been hiding Einstein's brain for more than 20 years and is currently deciding where it should go next. However, the mainstream articles say that in 2010, Harvey's heirs transferred all of his holdings constituting the remainings of Einstein's brain to the National Museum of Health and Medicine. This included 14 photographs of the whole brain prior to sectioning, never before revealed to the public. More recently, 46 small portions of Einstein's brain were acquired by the Mütter Museum in Philadelphia. In 2013, segments of the brain went on to exhibition in the museum's permanent galleries. Now let's return to the question, what does it take to be a genius like Einstein? Did he possess a superior brain compared to the average human? Well, the answer might surprise you. Harvey had reported that Einstein had no parietal operculum in either hemisphere, but this finding has been disputed. Photographs of the brain show an enlarged sylvian fissure. In 1999, further analysis by a team at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario revealed that his parietal operculum region in the inferior frontal gyrus in the frontal lobe of the brain was vacant. Also absent was a part of the bordering region called the lateral sulcus sylvian fissure. Researcher at McMaster University speculated that the vacancy may have enabled neurons in this part of the brain to communicate better. This unusual anatomy, that is the missing part of the sylvian fissure, may explain why Einstein thought the way he did. Einstein himself claimed that he thought visually rather than verbally. In 1984, Marion Diamond and her associates were the first ever to publish research on the brain of Albert Einstein. She compared the ratio of glial cells in Einstein's brain with that of the preserved brains of 11 other males. Glial cells provide support and nutrition in the brain, form myelin and participate in signal transmission, and are the main integral component of the brain besides the neurons. Dr. Diamond's laboratory made thin sections of Einstein's brain, each 6 micrometers thick. They then used a microscope to count the cells. Einstein's brain had more glial cells relative to neurons in all areas studied, but only in the left inferior parietal area was the difference statistically significant. This area is part of the association cortex, region of the brain responsible for incorporating and synthesizing information from multiple other brain regions. A stimulating environment can increase the proportion of glial cells, and the high ratio could possibly result from Einstein's life studying stimulating scientific problems. The limitation that Diamond admits in her study is that she had only one Einstein to compare with 11 brains of normal intelligence individuals. Other issues related to Diamond's study point out glial cells continue dividing as a person ages, and although Einstein's brain was 76, it was compared to brains that averaged 64 in age. 11 males, 47 to 80 years of age. Diamond, in her landmark study on the brain of a scientist, noted that the 11 male individuals whose brain were used in her control base had died from non-neurologically related diseases. Scientists currently cannot tell how far the unusual features were innate or how far they were due to Einstein devoting his life to higher thought. Preserving the brain of geniuses was not a new phenomenon. Another brain to be preserved and discussed in a similar manner was that of German mathematician Carl Friedrich Gauss almost 100 years earlier. His brain was studied by Rudolf Wagner, who found its weight to be 1492 grams and the convolutions, which was suggested as the explanation of his genius. Other brains that were removed and studied include those of Vladimir Lenin, the mathematician Sofia Kovalevskaya, and the Native American Nishi. The brain of Edward H. Roloff, a noted philologist and criminal, was removed after his death in 1871. In 1972, it was still the second largest brain on record. In conclusion, the investigation into Einstein's brain offers tantalizing glimpses into the potential neural underpinnings of genius. While studies reveal intriguing anatomical peculiarities and potential functional advantages, such as increased glial cell density and enhanced interhemispheric connectivity, definitive conclusions remain elusive. The enigma of Einstein's extraordinary intellect persists, reminds us of the intricate complexities of the human mind and the boundless mysteries that continue to captivate scientists and scholars alike. As we continue to unravel the secrets of the universe and the workings of the brain, Einstein's legacy serves as an enduring inspiration, challenging us to push the boundaries of knowledge and explore the frontiers of human potential.